Are we looking? Are we looking delicious? Do you know what I like about it?
What?
With the podcast previously, obviously, like I said, there was issue with the mics in it.
Yeah, so
So
don't be speaking on
It was good because we got away with it because Atika Shamila was speaking. So it was just the cameras
It was
mics.
a happy accident.
I know, but it was the camera's mics.
Yeah.
So it picked everything up. Whereas if we used these ones, then it would have been a bit of an issue. Because it's you and me, it's more intimate. I don't know. It just, even when I put the mics on before to test it, it just sounds sick with the mic and stuff. Anyway, welcome guys to the podcast. Where should I put this?
Straight on the table. Oh no, it'll be in the shot. Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
That's cool.
Yeah, welcome guys to another podcast. Welcome to Pixels Podcast. I'm your host. I was about to say Junaid. I'm your host Hasib.
Host. It's not a game show.
It is a host. Anyway, I'm Hasib, and with me I've got Mr. Junaid,
Yo.
which you guys remember from the previous podcast.
Yo.
What's new, Junaid? Let's jump
What's
straight into
new?
it. Let's jump straight into it.
Uh,
Oh, before we do, sorry,
Yeah,
this podcast is sponsored by Sense by Henna. Oh, sugar. Make sure you check these guys out. I'll put a link to their perfumes down below. This is my favorite one at the moment. This one's called Verda. You've not smelled these, have you?
No, I haven't actually. Do you want to put a bit on my hand?
Let's smell that.
Sorry guys, smell-o-vision hasn't been invented yet, so
Hold on.
for you
Yes,
listening,
smell this, guys. Smell
for
it.
you listening on the
There you
audio.
This is my go-to perfume at the moment.
Yo, that is.
It's like a oudi sort of smell.
Yeah, I could definitely get that from that.
Yeah, I'll just leave this
That's
right
quite
there for you guys. This is the unisex, but this one's more feminine. Smell that one.
Oh, do that. Spray that. Spray that on the other hand.
Sick.
Just one spray. No, I prefer.
Really?
Is that bad?
Yeah, it
That's quite
says a
bad.
lot about man.
That's quite bad. That's quite bad.
But yeah, what you saying? What's new, man?
Well,
What's not a bit of
first of all, apologies. Anybody looking, I'm looking a bit rough today.
Mine, bro.
But I ain't impressing anyone at the moment.
You got a fresh fade for the last one, didn't you?
I got that was for a self tape, which just landed on the same day as was doing the recording of the first.
So it's a
podcast.
coincidence.
It was happy coincidence, yeah.
By the way, what's that thing called where on YouTube people like eat and record their sound?
ASMR.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bit of that.
You know, for you guys listening on audio,
I'm joking. I'm
he's
sorry.
eating peanuts.
I'm not. I'm just addicted to these dry roasted peanuts. They're wicked.
That's a shameless. Is that ad? That's
Yeah.
not an ad. You're not getting paid by KP to say that, are you?
No, mate.
You wish.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, man, I'm not impressing anyone. So that's why I've got the rough look at the moment, because of what's going on at the moment in the world.
Yeah, what is going on in the world right now, Junaid?
Well, at the moment.
And you don't need
it's
to
a
put an
bit-
accent on, man. Just speak
this is
straight
how I
up.
talk.
I think it's just me how I talk.
No, this
like,
is how I
I
talk.
feel I don't put an accent on. I talk.
I'll be
as
honest. It's. I think surely everyone has that when they.
I don't.
They speak formally, and then there's a way where they speak behind closed doors at home.
Like right now, because I know how you
Like
speak.
right now, for some reason, whenever I'm in front of a camera or whenever I feel like there's other people listening to me, I automatically get the
No, legit.
smart voice sounding out.
Yeah, you've got a bit of a voice.
But
going
if
on
you
right
heard
now.
me without the mics,
It'd be like a Bradford brother.
bro, what's going on, bro? You're right, cozy. But yeah, man, just working, and literally work home, Netflix,
Netflix and
bit
chill
of
with yourself.
bit of Call of Duty.
Bit of COD.
Yeah, with myself because unfortunately we can't bring other people. I can't meet other people right now either.
Oh,
Not that I'm flying that. I've
you
got
want to
people,
go somewhere else with that.
Not that.
But then you quickly reel
no,
that back.
I'm single as a Pringle, so yeah.
Yeah, we I think that was something we discussed in the other one as well. But yeah, man.
The listener's gonna think that this is just a whole ruse to get me, trying to have me.
Get this guy Rishta. But yeah,
that's not the case. Yeah, so I've just been at work and it's been a bit weird recently because of COVID and not being able to, just the way things have been working.
what tier is Bradford in now?
Bradford is in tier 2.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's in tier 2.
I swear they're meant to be in like.
because Greater Manchester, which is only an hour away from us, that has been, and South Yorkshire, which is like the Barnsley area,
Where West Yorkshire, innit?
where West Yorkshire, Barnsley area, and like Greater Manchester, they're going into tier 3. I'm pretty sure it's this Friday.
What, they're changing it again?
No, so it's
Oh, no, there was something in
right
the news
now-
about Manchester, wasn't
So
it?
right now we're in tier 2.
Yeah.
So when I say this Friday, I mean bang on 12 o'clock at midnight. So when it goes 12:01 at Friday night,
Oh,
it'll be
yeah.
Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
I saw that. I saw
That
that on
sort of thing.
Instagram.
Greater Manchester will be under tier 3 lockdown,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, and I'm thinking.
And tier 3 is what? It's basically
South Yorkshire as well.
a
And
lot
tier-
more stricter, isn't it?
Yeah, tier 3 is. By the way, this is going off what I can remember, so don't take this for like
There's a
Bible.
formal report
yeah.
by Junaid Ashad
Yeah, I think tier 3 is like the highest.
addressing the nation.
It's the highest of lockdowns, so you can't. I think you can't go to people's houses. You can't even meet them in an outdoor private space.
And restaurants
so that means gardens.
close.
So so
Restaurants, bars, and all that.
restaurants and bars. They're not,
Entertainment, basically, the word for it, isn't it?
I think pubs and restaurants, they're not going to serve meals until close, and
No, I think they'll be closed. Or would they? Or is it just takeout?
well, I watched the news about 2-3 hours ago, and I'm just going off what I can remember off that, because that was explained.
How do you do me a
for
favour?
South-
Shut that door, please.
That was going off for South Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on with us guys up north at the moment.
It is a bit. I don't know. I don't know. Use the word.
Weirdly
shite.
Weirdly
It is
enough,
a bit
though, it's
shite.
not affect. Because
You don't feel that's affected you?
no,
I feel like that.
it's affected a lot of
people.
people, but because I've been we've all been adhering to the rules.
Have you?
Yeah, all been adhering to the rules, and because we've adhering.
What does that mean?
Come on, man, read the dictionary. You must know what adhering means. We've all
Surprisingly,
adhered to the rules.
You know what?
Basically, we've all followed the rules.
Basically, you're abiding by the
We're
rules.
abiding by-
It's another word for
I'm an
abiding.
abiding citizen. And
Is it another word for abiding? When you follow the rules,
Yeah.
when you go by with what you're
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So we've been, but at my work, they've sort of clamped down on that. They've gone into like level 10 lockdown,
Really?
DEFCON 1. But it's to me, because it's not happened in Bradford. There's not been much of a. We've not gone into tier 3 lockdown. It's not had much of a change because I still go out, drive to work and back. I still have to go pick up some things, go shopping along the way,
Yeah.
and there's people still about. And I do still manage to see.
So for you,
family.
it feels the same.
Yeah, I
really,
still
doesn't
manage to travel and see family, but obviously under the guidelines. And now I think as well, when you go outside, the group of 6 rule as well. Like even little babies, they count as one of the
Person.
6. Yeah,
Yeah.
they count as a person. So it is quite strict. I think parks, they're calling it. The government call it soft ground or soft play areas or something like that.
Yeah. We can discuss this, but it's there on the internet for people to.
Sorry, I'm going too much.
You don't need to.
I'm turning into an MP for Bradford South.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
But yeah, that's.
But in
the
terms of,
problem.
I think, some people might not feel it as much, but people whose work has been affected, they'll feel it. For instance, obviously the wedding industry, which I'm in,
Yeah.
there aren't as many weddings. If there are, they're just the ones that. What is it? 15 people now.
Is that your computer?
Yeah. Hold on. Should we close that?
Yeah, because
It's about to launch.
It's about to launch out. Yeah.
1 sec. Let me.
Just make sure that there's no drone sound. Yeah. So you go ahead. You were
Yeah,
saying.
like I was saying, the wedding industry's been affected big time. People who had big weddings planned out
Yeah.
with around 400-500, that's a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah.
400-500 people can't do that anymore because obviously the current rules, they've put the numbers down to 15, from 30 to 15.
Wasn't that after that case in Blackburn? I think it
I
was.
don't know what case it was, but it is obviously because of what's going on, the numbers
Yeah.
are rising. But having said that, surprisingly, we have still got work. Like, I don't know if you saw my snap. Like, I just did a wedding this weekend. Our first Sikh wedding. Normally Sikh weddings are raving from what I'm told.
Yeah, but how would it be
15 people.
abiding by the rules and stuff? So how did that?
I'm not
work?
complaining, it was calm for
So
us.
for the viewers who maybe don't know what the sketch is with that, explain how that all worked out.
How the wedding went.
Yeah, because obviously we know it as.
All
like-
I'm going to say is, obviously, like I said, it was our first Sikh wedding, yeah? We
Okay,
started...
but,
Actually, I've never told you this.
Regardless of that, in terms of the way it's been abiding.
Yeah, I'll
by
get to that.
rules.
I'll get to
okay,
that.
So yeah,
But I've not even discussed this with you about how my.
You've not talked to me about this yet.
All right, yeah. This we had a Sikh wedding. It was booked last minute because of obviously some issues they had with COVID and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they booked us through the video. They had a photographer called Sobi Kume do the photos, and so we did the video. 15 guests they've told us, yeah. But obviously in Sikh tradition they have a lot of traditions to do.
Yeah.
Basically, a lot goes on, all packed into one day. Some
They
families
don't do 3 days like we do.
like no.
Is that just one day?
They had 2 days.
2 days.
They had one day where they did the sangeet, which is like a mendi,
Okay.
what we call, and the second day they had the whole wedding thing.
Okay.
The sangeet is mainly where they do some traditional stuff at home, some religious stuff as well, and then it's mainly the girl getting henna put on and stuff like that,
Okay.
which takes 6 hours, bro.
6 hours.
She sat there for 6 hours.
Allow that.
In it, and then the family do their own dancing and stuff, and there was a very interesting experience for us to watch and obviously capture.
Well, yeah.
But then the wedding day, check this one out. We start at 5 a.m, bro.
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Oh, so this is because
Remember I put in my snap?
You said it the night before, or I'm not going to be able to
I can't jump out.
You can't get something to eat with us before 10 o'clock because I have to be in bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even sleep that night. I don't know why. I probably got 2 hours sleep. So me and him, obviously the wedding was in Leeds. We left here because it takes about 40 minutes. We left here about, obviously we want to be there early, so we left about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So woke up at 3 to get there.
And you have 2 hours sleep.
Yeah,
Mad.
man. Having said that, obviously it was a 15-hour booking, 15-hour day for us. Yeah, the booked was
Okay.
15 hours.
Okay.
Majority of the time was spent. A lot of the stuff was traditional. I'm just going by. I'm just trying to compare. You know, Pakistani weddings and Sikh weddings. Sorry, Muslim weddings and Sikh weddings.
Yeah.
A lot of their stuff was the traditional and religious stuff.
Okay.
Maybe it might be different when it's not COVID, but they probably spent in the reception where the venue was to eat about 2.5 hours. Majority of the time was spent either doing rasams at home
Oh, really?
or they were in the Gurdwara. That was my first time in the Gurdwara as well.
Oh,
I put that on my snap.
been?
Did you see?
Have you never
What?
been?
Did you see the thing that?
No, I didn't see that.
I sent it you lot.
I might have
Where
skipped
Habiba
over it. I
told
might
the
have
thing.
skipped over it, but
We were asked to wear bandanas.
I think
Obviously,
that's your first time being. I've been in one before.
have you? When?
I think probably some like school trips, but we went 2 or 3 times in primary school.
I went to a church at school. That's about it. But yeah, obviously, we asked being our, as it was obviously our first Sikh wedding.
Yeah.
With any sort of wedding we have, we make sure with the client. This is generally something someone should do anyway. If they got a little bit of akal,
Yeah.
you should probably do your research. So you make sure you capture everything. So obviously, I sat down with the bride's family because the bride's had booked us, and went through everything. I said to them, I want to know everything from start to finish what you guys have, so we make sure we capture it.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, we smashed that.
You mean like sort of a
Breakdown as to
Breakdown
what
of the
goes
day.
on
Yeah.
in them 15 hours.
yeah?
What's gonna
so
go
like
on?
hour 1 and 2 is gonna be. the
Yeah, yeah,
reception, hour 3
we
and
went
4 is
through
gonna be
everything, and alhamdulillah, we captured
the
it
bride's
all.
walking down the hall or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But one thing was a bit surprising. A lot of the stuff, obviously, you don't know much about this, so you're gonna learn as you go along. A lot of the, rasams are similar to
what's
what
a
I've seen
rasam?
at weddings when they have a Pakistani Muslim weddings.
What's the rest of?
Rasam is something what's another word for rasam, man? Tradition.
I'm proper white boy in this understanding, so.
It's
even
tradition.
though I'm Muslim,
It's
I'm
traditions. It's traditions.
Oh, right.
Like one tradition which was similar to what we do, which I looked at and I thought, hold on, we do that as well. It's the one where they sit the girl down and they cover the bride, with haldi. It's like a paste.
Turmeric.
Is that what
Turmeric paste, yeah.
Yeah, they cover it in that, and the family one by one.
I don't know why they do that. That's very weird. Isn't it?
I think it's something to do with having fairer skin or something, or something to do with the
What?
skin. Must be because it's going onto the skin.
That's a bit of a violation, isn't it?
Innit?
Slapping them out like.
Yeah. Well, no doubt, bro. I felt so bad for the bride. You know why? Because one, it was cold, and we did this outside.
Oh yeah, then she's gonna feel it more.
Yeah. So so obviously we were
The
sat
cold
outside.
wind, like hitting against the pace and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's bad.
But it's traditions, innit? But yeah, we captured all that.
So
It
was
me
that
and
the
Habib.
only the only tradition that's similar to our Muslim weddings? Or
They had a few other
something?
traditions, but yeah. So the other similar one was the whole throwing of chawal. So I don't know if you've seen this, yeah. at the end, you know, when the bride's leaving her home or the hall, basically the bit where she's leaving to go to with the groom, yeah.
With Java rice. For
Yeah,
those
the rice.
who don't know
What they'll
Java
do
is.
is they'll give the bride some rice. She'll hold it
Yeah.
and she'll chuck it behind her onto the men that are in the family. So her brothers, her father, they'll stand behind the bride.
Kind of like when in Christian weddings they throw like a bouquet of flowers behind her.
No,
right?
that's to do with to decide who gets married next or something, innit?
Like one of their girlfriends.
One of
or
them
something.
ones. So, but for bridesmaids. But for this, I asked someone once, and they said the reasoning behind it is. So what people believe is, by the way, this is for Muslims. This is nothing to do with. It's not religious.
Okay.
This is just something. What I'm trying to point out is that
This is like a new thing that they added into the mix.
No. What they
Time
picked.
went
This has
along.
been picked up from is I think Sikh traditions and Indian traditions.
Oh really? But
You get it?
Muslim weddings
To do with
now.
yeah, they do this.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So our first sequence and they did it there, and I was like, oh, okay, this is where they probably got it from.
Okay.
But yeah, so the reasoning from what I understood is, what they say is the girl brings it's barakat and wealth and all the money and sort of stuff into the house.
Barakat is blessings for those.
Yeah, by the
those who
way,
don't-
this isn't fact. This is something I've been
Yeah.
told. That person might be wrong, but this is what I'm telling you from what I've understood. She brings the like barakat into the house. Google what barakat means,
I
but
just said it is barakat means blessings.
blessings into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say that the girl in the house brings blessings into the house. When she's leaving, she's taking them with her. So what they
Oh.
do in order for that to stay within the house,
That's a bit selfish.
in order for that to stay within the house, is she with the rice, she's throwing the blessings onto the people that are still in the house, i.e., her brothers and father.
All right.
Do you get it?
So it's like a bit of a.
Nothing religious,
Yeah.
but I think it's tradition and stuff. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of traditions in wedding, which to be I think some stuff. If you took traditions out, weddings would be boring, straight up. Like
I think there's a fine balance with that because, like I've been to Asian weddings before.
Yeah.
And there's somewhere I've been when they follow it religiously, strict to the rule. They follow the sort of the norms of an Asian wedding. Then I've been to some who literally, they go all out, they party, they're doing some next level stuff, and they see all the grandmas and granddads and aunties.
it's all culture, isn't
and
it?
they'll all just be like, oh my god, like looking down, thinking, what these are doing, these youngsters.
It's all culture. So obviously, if some families are really cultural and traditional, they'll stick to the old school stuff.
Yeah, they won't party much, or they'll do what's written in the tradition, like Mendi and stuff.
Yeah.
But other people, they, like I said,
It's all part of it, man. I personally think
I don't think there's
weddings
anything
are
wrong in that.
it's all fun and games at the end of it, isn't it?
You're only gonna
More
get,
for us to capture.
Well, hopefully, you're only gonna get married once, but
So you make most of
so
it.
make the most of it. Yeah.
Otherwise, like I said, if you take all that, what is there? Other than the actual
Well,
formal
that's
part,
what we get. Well, that's
just
what,
a bit of eating,
well, that's
people
what-
go.
That's what people have it right now. For example, the Sikh wedding that you just did. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. No, they did everything.
So I go back.
But
to
the only weird thing was there's 15 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'll go back to that question at the start, right? You just said right now, if you take all that away, what do you get? And pretty much coronavirus has taken that all away, and we've been getting weddings for the past how long now? Since May. I'm thinking it's from
So
May.
obviously it was from
So-
March
so
to
it's
about
backguarded weddings.
July-ish, beginning of July-ish, end of June. It was complete lockdown. There was
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, I remember.
Then
that
they started up again.
Yeah.
We got a few bookings in, and then
It was June, I think it was. Yeah, if
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
and then it started again, and now it's slowly started to quieten down. Obviously because of the 15 people rule. Who will come on, man? How 15 people? Who the heck can have a wedding with 15 people?
Well,
Majority of the Asian families, bro, there's more than 15 people in your immediate family.
listen, if you're trying to save that budget, and trust me, Asian weddings cost a lot of money.
Yeah, that's an interesting
So
way
you're
to look
you're
at it. as
chilling
well,
right now
obviously.
if you
Yeah,
get married
obviously.
with 15 people.
The amount of cost you'll save. A lot of people are probably buzzing.
People
Parents
will
are
be,
buzzing.
people will be
thinking,
saving like 100 times the cost.
yeah, it's a huge number. Obviously, think about it. If you just work out per head, on average, weddings are costing. If you just look at not obviously clothes, cars, all
Let's
that.
just call it the minimum. So minimum, you're looking at what?
It's
you
20.
want-
It's from £25 to £30 per head.
Okay, so altogether for a wedding.
I don't know how. Obviously,
let's just. It's about. I think we worked this out at one point before. It was about 26 grand for the cheapest wedding. That's including everything. If you want to go.
you can have a decent wedding for 26.
Yeah. So let's just go off that figure, 26 grand.
You can have an alright wedding, decent wedding.
Yeah.
But with about 250 people or something, you can have an alright wedding. That's just for one day, by the way.
Oh yeah, and like we said,
Outfits,
we've got
cars.
3 days going, and we got to do the same thing 3 times for nothing. Some people they'll hire. I've known some weddings, some of my mates or mates of mates they've hired cars for one day, and then they've hired a different car for the second day,
Ballers, innit?
and they just want it's just show off, but it's a preference.
Some
Personally,
people, some people save up all year round.
I'm not into all that sort of stuff.
Some people save up all year round,
Yeah.
and obviously, not everyone can afford an expensive car, so they just use that as an excuse just to experience it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Some cars you're looking at
A lot.
just the depot. Yeah.
I don't understand, man.
You're looking at about $2,000 for.
see these
I don't know how
guys
much it is for a
dropping-
Huracan. I know for a Huracan Spider, you're looking at about $2,000 a day or something like that. But for the Performante, the new one, yeah. SVJs, the Aventadors, big ones, yeah. The daddy ones, you're looking at about I think $3,000 a day for them. $3,000 a day,
Madness. It's a Mazda.
blowing all that in 24
No,
hours.
but this is just the point I was about to make. I've
Crazy.
seen. This is the topic. This is a topic for another podcast. Oh, but then again, we're talking about it right now, so let's go ahead. But
What?
I've seen people, and I'm sure I'm not the only one in this. I've known people to have spent that kind of money on cars or
So
stupid
do I.
money on stupid stuff, and then like there'll be times where I've seen these same people and they'll be like stinging out.
micro.
They'll be stinging out on like the stuff that they should be spending that money
That's
on.
my point. So
You know what
some
I mean?
people do it for the experience. Like obviously, never is fortunate enough to afford a Lamborghini or a
All
Ferrari.
right,
and all
true.
that.
Yeah,
So
then
they use that as a chance to, you know what, that little shock they have.
maybe
Sorry,
that's just my
I'm using
sting-
Asian
that's
words.
just
That little.
my stingy Asian genes like coming out a bit
Yeah.
in force, but
No, don't be too stingy. I think
'cause I've-
everyone
well, I've
should
hired-
get. If
no,
you have the money, everyone should experience everything in life.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I've never hired cars before. I've hired a car before
Oh yeah, you didn't mind that.
on your wedding,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But I boxed out for you big time.
but I think it's also right. Like, I'll take this from my perspective because I've never really met anyone outside of my perspective who thinks like this when it comes to sort of hiring cars for weddings or
Or
that
like,
sort of aspect.
You're against it. Don't spend
No,
that
I'm
much
not
money kind of
against.
thing.
Well, no, like I said, if people want to do it, they've got the money. Go ahead.
Mm.
I'm just saying. I know people who haven't had the money. They've spent the money on the cars, and then when time comes in the future, that amount of money would have helped them, but they've ended up blowing it on that experience, and they could have used it for something else. Like
Yeah, this,
I've known people who have spent it on a car, and then they've asked for money afterwards for. They've just like asked for money, said, "Oh, can
because they're in a
money
situation.
to borrow?" Because they're in a
So
certain situation.
in that aspect, it's like if you can afford it, do it.
Yeah.
If you can't afford it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Is that
but
what you're
this
saying?
No, yeah, but this is my point, my perspective. What I've been brought up, weirdly enough, when I was growing up, all the Asian weddings that I went to,
Yeah.
my family, even with family weddings, we never had it where our family at the type to hire cars, and I think there's a certain aspect because, mashallah, like I would say, alhamdulillah, our family have had cars that are decent enough that we don't need to hire cars. And I'm not saying we've got Lambos,
Yeah,
we've
not
got
everyone's
BMWs,
not
but we've
everyone's
had
fortunate
decent
enough for
enough
the.
cars that we've not had to like hire cars, and that's why I think so. Growing up, I've always been to weddings, and none of my family have ever hired a car, so that's why I
Yeah, yeah.
thought, oh, like why is people spending so much just for a day and
That,
not hiring certain
but
cars?
that's my point. Not
But then
everyone-
again, some people have been brought up in that sort of thinking.
I get that, but
So
just
it's
to
all-
sum up what you're
it's okay
saying
for
is
them.
obviously if you have decent cars, you don't need to hire them. Whereas if you don't, that's one point, and you want to experience it, then you hire it. That's what they're there
Yeah,
for.
no, but
You
like
get
I
it?
said, to reiterate, we've not had like Lambos and Mercs and all that, but we've had decent enough cars like BMWs, but not flashy ones. Growing up,
Yeah.
that's why that's why my mentality is like that towards that sort of stuff.
Um,
But anyways, I think
I think we should move on a bit.
Yeah, we dragged on a bit too much about hiring cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. So we're going back to the point of the situation we're in at the moment. You were saying that it's affected your business.
Yeah, it has, man.
But
Big time. I think majority
'Cause there
of
was a point where
businesses,
you
other
was
than
like-
Amazon, places takeaways, they're smashing it.
yeah,
They've made silly money. Amazon, that guy
Just
smashed
Eat-
it. He's become
Just
even
Eat
more
and
richer than
Uber
what he
Eats
was.
are like,
I
they're
know.
they're the big boys now.
I know. They've obviously because of people not being able to go out as much. they're gonna keep ordering in. So
Bro,
them businesses are capitalizing on that
I never
as much
used
as they
Uber
can.
Eats up until
Same.
how long's it been out for now? Years.
A few years.
And I literally downloaded the app 2 months ago when we came out of the
Uber Eats or Just Eat?
No, just Uber Eats.
Just Eat's better.
Well, I don't even have Just Eat. That's what I'm saying. The only delivery app I have is Uber Eats.
Why?
And when we
Why
came-
did you pick Uber Eats?
So when
By the
we-
way, I hope we get paid from this. You know. Shout out.
we're not getting paid, Jack.
Yeah. Sponsor us, Uber Eats.
Please.
Sponsor us, Just Eat. Sponsor us.
I need to get some money in this lockdown as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I when we came out of this June lockdown, I
Yeah.
never had any delivery apps, and then at work, my work colleague just went, "Oh, why do you just order it here? No point you going out there. It's just too much effort." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then man sending me bare discount codes and that.
Oh, yeah, what discount code?
Yeah, so I downloaded it, and now it's kind of a necessity because in Bradford there's so many. Like, if you don't know, in Bradford there's so many takeaways and shops. It's actually known a lot for its food. And
Bradford is
quality
the
of food.
capital, curry capital
Yeah, it's
of
pretty
the
capital
UK.
of the UK. Yeah, thanks for reminding
Hold on,
me.
let me repeat that. Bradford is the curry capital of the UK.
Yeah.
I'm just loving, I'm just speaking this.
It's
is
something to be
sick.
proud of, isn't it?
But yeah, anyway,
There's a lot of sweaty, oily people coming out of Bradford.
let's move on to something else.
But yeah, down, like I said, it's a necessity now having Uber Eats and Just Eat because you have to order food after the 10 p.m. curfew.
That's bullshit as
for
well,
people
man.
to come
How
out-
stupid
come
is
out to
this?
you.
First of all, yeah, they start off with first of all introducing the whole thing about social distancing, keep a distance from everyone because you're gonna catch the virus. So what did they go and do then? They introduced that thing where it's half priced eating or something.
Oh yeah.
Or there was some
Eat
sort
Out to help out.
Eat out, help out.
In the month of
What the
August.
heck were the?
Was it the month of August? or
I don't know what
September?
month. It was August.
August, yeah, it was.
The restaurants were absolutely rammed.
Mate, I was.
No. Sorry, let me finish my point. Do you know what really
Okay, go
got
on.
to me was these restaurants were absolutely rammed. There was hardly any social distancing going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was allowed.
Yeah.
Restaurants were some restaurants. Obviously, I went as well because obviously
But we went at a quieter time.
I think I probably went throughout that about
I
3
went
times
twice.
or something.
I went
One was
twice.
my missus. One was my anniversary. Another one was I don't know what it was. But anyway, I went 3 times. So what I'm trying to say is, in restaurants they had about up to 150, 200 people sometimes. Yeah, some of these big restaurants.
Yeah.
They were allowing that, but they weren't allowing weddings. How stupid was that?
No, but
That's what really
were they
got to me.
socially- Pardon
What
me,
the
were-
heck, bro?
Were they socially distancing in the
There was no
restaurants?
social distancing on. You've seen some of the videos on Instagram
where
and
did we
Facebook.
go? I'm sure we went somewhere.
It was rammed.
No, did we go?
Where?
I'm sure we must have, because we go out to eat all the time.
I don't know.
Did we go? But anyways, I'm
We're not going to name any
I agree with
restaurants.
that. I agree with that because when I was like I said, driving home from work, I used to drive past the centre of one of the main roads in Bradford where all these shops are,
Yeah.
and
Leeds Road.
Leeds Road, and there every single shop on either side had just a massive queue outside it.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
it's
just
like they've
thinking,
said this,
They were
but they're
probably,
stupid.
They were
not-
probably waiting there for like half an hour, to
Yeah,
40
yeah.
minutes,
What
just,
my-
to get, and they weren't socially distanced.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't have masks on, and obviously as soon as they entered the restaurant, they're socially distancing. Then.
By the way,
And-
everyone's thinking now we're talking about COVID so much, and on the previous podcast I said we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's just there, isn't it? We're trying to
it's-
avoid talking about it,
It's
but
such a big part of the world now, and we're gonna come out of this.
It's
in a
difficult
different
not to
way.
talk about.
So yeah, it's kind of hard not to talk about it. So.
But what I was trying
yeah.
to point out was they've given us guidelines to do stuff. Yeah, what they don't realize is these all these things are backfiring. There was no social distancing. People are going crazy. Oh, half price. Let's go eat. And then they're doing this whole thing now. Before 10 o'clock, everyone chip. At 10 o'clock, everyone's gonna get up and try and leave. What they don't realize is, in some bars and restaurants,
Yeah.
when people have to come home on the train,
Yeah.
they all get up from the bars and restaurants,
all bunch up at the
heading
same time.
towards the doors together, heading to the trains together,
Yeah.
ramming the trains together.
Yeah.
What the heck's happening there? How's
Well,
what?
I
I,
think- I
want
don't
to
think
know
whether-
who the heck is on top right now making these dumb
But
decisions.
like I said, it's man like BJ.
Uncle Boris.
Uncle
No,
Johnson.
he's got advisors as well, obviously, but I don't know, man. I don't know what they're playing at. It's as if I personally think, yeah, I'm not one of them conspiracy theory guys, yeah, but they're just trying to get everybody to get it, and once they've got it and it's out of the system, move
Oh,
on.
you're not
Look
gonna
up. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah.
You're talking about Pakistan and there's mentioned coronavirus once.
Yeah, it's crazy though, isn't it? Something
Yeah.
to think about.
It is something to think about, yeah.
But anyway, we'll move on from that. Enough of COVID talk. I put on my Instagram a poll. Is it a poll when you ask someone to? No, poll is when you have two options, isn't it? And you vote. I put on my Instagram that we're gonna have a bit of a Q&A session for the
Yeah,
podcast.
Q&A sessions better put, yeah.
I've got loads of questions coming. Some silly ones. Silly ones like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite dessert? Stuff like that. We're not gonna answer questions like that. But I picked
It's
top
red.
3. Your favorite color is red.
I like the masala.
I picked out 3 of the top questions that I thought were worth answering.
Okay.
One was the hardest part about starting a business.
I think I don't have a business, so that's more
Okay, I can.
your field.
I'll try and answer that.
Actually, well, I did, but that's for another time. But you go ahead.
I'll try and answer that best I can. I personally think, first of all, if I was to, I won't go into too much detail because obviously this isn't one of them seminars where people go on and on.
TED Talks.
And it,
Seam Talks.
but I think first starting a business is difficult. Yeah, it is, because you first of all have to come up with an idea which is unique to generally other businesses. Meaning, what are you going to bring to the table what others aren't? Why are people going to go to you and not to others?
Yeah.
Generally, that's the thought that is the main.
Whether that service, what you like.
It could be
stuff like
anything.
that. Yeah,
Providing
yeah.
a service, providing a product, selling a product, whatever you're doing. The whole purpose of you doing it is so that you're gonna do it different to what the other next man's gonna do. Yeah. So once you have that, and okay, you're gonna stand out a bit more to your rivals.
Yeah.
That's your first part ticked.
Okay.
The second part is getting it out there. I personally think that's probably one of the most difficult parts. That's something
Getting your name out there.
getting your name out there and building awareness of your own business first of all.
Okay,
Whereas
yeah.
with me, okay, let's talk about it from my experience. Mine is basically getting my name out there, telling people that I do this, videography, photography, for weddings, businesses, anything related to the media genre kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything to do with videography, photography, we do it. For us, the difficult part is getting our name out there for people to know. Because at the end of the day, how are people going to book us? How are people going to know about us
Yeah.
if we're not out there? That's always the difficult part. And then what helps with that is, and what comes into that is the marketing. For a business to do well, personally, I think that one of the most strongest and most important parts for a business to have is marketing. If you have good marketing, you'll smash it. But then, now another key role, obviously, which goes alongside it as a pair, is your product, the quality. If the service you're not providing isn't
rubbish.
quality, is
Yeah.
rubbish, you could be the most well-known brand business company in the whole
I've
country.
met some of them talks of people before.
Do you know what I mean?
And I know you have as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could be the most popular, whatever. But if your work is shite,
Yeah.
then what's the point?
And it works the other way around as well. Obviously, you could have a good service. But
That's what I'm saying. So that's what's difficult sometimes. It gets a bit frustrating for some businesses where they know they've smashed it. They're providing one of the best services you can get.
Yeah.
But because they don't have that following and they've not been fortunate enough to get their name out there as much, they struggle.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's something I'm gonna obviously struggle with as well as any other businesses. Building that brand,
Yeah.
building awareness of my business. The more I build it, the better it is for me. I've tried my best. Firstly, if people want advice, obviously, who am I to give advice? I'm not some big shot or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, if I was to give a little bit of advice, I would say is, before starting any business off, have a solid base on your product, as in make sure that's perfect first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be working on it as you go along.
Have a good foundation.
Have a good foundation with your
Yeah.
product. Make sure the service you're going to provide, the product you're going to give, whatever you're going to sell or whatever you're going to do,
Or if you
is
could
perfect.
find
The
that-
recipe is perfect first time round.
Yeah, you need, or find that, like you said, that
Work on that
uniqueness,
first.
you find that uniqueness about you. Work
Yeah.
on that on your product, because if I could have an input on this, I said earlier, I didn't have a business. I can't believe I forgot a year of my life, because me and my three friends, we started
Pixel Studios.
Pixels. Well, yeah, your Pixel Perfect. We were called Pixel, spelled
Mm.
Pixil.
It's
It
interesting
was a
where that
mashup
name.
of pixel, as in pixels on the screen, and pencil.
Yeah, it's funny where that name comes from.
That was another coincidence. Like, you
Oh.
know, it was. Come on, man. You know it was. It was.
I should sue you lot.
We came up with that at the same
No,
time.
I'm joking.
But yeah, when we started up, me and my three friends, it was a design and animation studio,
Yeah.
and we also did a bit of we started to learn web as we went along.
Yeah.
But when we started up, we realized that our niche, unique selling point to other design studios, because we were based in Huddersfield, opposite our uni, where we were studying at the time.
Yeah.
Our unique point was that us as individuals, yeah, we were the ones. Our characteristics were the selling point of our business. So people came to this business and looked at us and be like, all right, these guys are.
Yeah.
Their work's good, and also I like these. So the service, the way they are as people themselves.
That's
yeah.
that's a good point, because the question I got after that was,
Okay.
this is interesting. Tell me what you think of this. A guy messaged me saying, hold on, where's it gone? The question exactly was worded like this. Bear with me though, yeah. Why do camera crews not understand their value, and in turn devalue other businesses within that market? So then I asked Nextman to elaborate a bit. Sorry, I don't know why I'm using the word Nextman. I'm not a roadman or something like that.
Your cup says otherwise.
Yeah. So I asked this individual, elaborate a bit, please, because I didn't understand where he was
Okay.
coming from. So what I think he meant in terms of...
Did he elaborate, or did
He did.
Okay.
But I'll sum it up a bit. I think what he meant was, certain businesses, personally, or individuals, let's just say, will believe that they've got an absolute killer product, an amazing service. Yeah. So to match that, they're going to provide. They think they're providing a high-end service, so they're going to provide they're going to not provide, but they're going to charge high-end prices.
Okay.
Yeah, to match them high-end services,
Okay.
which they personally believe they have. But the issue then comes to is, then what his issue was that people don't want to pay that, because he feels that his product is very high-end and he's providing a luxury service and this
Okay.
that. But other people don't want to pay that because they don't feel that his product is high end of a luxury standard. Do you get what I mean?
So
what would you? So then obviously I wanted to answer it on the podcast.
Yeah.
What I thought of it, but do you get where I'm coming from? Do you get where he's coming from? He feels that he's providing a high end product and it's amazing and he should charge a lot for it, but people don't feel that his product is high end and stuff, and they don't want to pay that for it.
Well,
So should he get a reality check, really? And
I
do you get what I'm saying?
think in that specific situation, from what I got from what you said, my opinion on that is,
Should you look at the consumer and see what, obviously,
no.
I don't know if is
Right.
it
It's like, so right, you got to put
I
yourself
know
in the
how
customer's
I've-
shoes,
yeah.
and you got to put yourself in that guy's shoes as well. So the guy who runs the business, if he
Mm.
genuinely thinks that his product, if he's done his research and he's like, right, I provide this service and it's better than A, B,
let's
C.
say for instance it's wedding for cinematography.
Cinematography. So
Yeah.
let's say he does cinematography, right? And he's researched his market, and he's like, right, this is my service, this is my brand, this is my work, and he's done his research and he's realized that he thinks is better than A, B, C.
But
And A charges 200, B charges 300, and C charges 400.
no, let's be
He's-
realistic. He wants to charge about $1,000. No, sorry.
No, I'm just using for example,
Okay, yeah.
example's sake. So he's done that and he said, I want to charge 500. Am I correct in where I'm going? So
He wants to charge more because he feels that his product's worth more.
right, but
other people are saying, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Then I
so
think
where
he needs- I
what's
think-
your thoughts on that then?
Unless, I think, if there's only a few number, it's a case by case thing. So if there's a few number of clients telling him
'Cause
that,
in
then he
in-
might. I don't think he needs a reality check if there's a few clients telling him. But if there's a majority of clients saying to him, "No, I don't want that because I feel like this person's better. I've seen these lot and their work is better."
Then
than
it
yours,"
is then the thing.
Then,
Innit?
then I think you have to take the majority's sort of opinion and be like,
Reevaluate.
yeah, reevaluate. Just sort of take a step back and be like, okay, maybe my
My
thought
product
process
isn't as
my thought process wasn't right towards this.
Maybe
Let me
it's-
take on what you're on board, what you're saying, and try and bring it a bit more to a realistic price based on what you guys, as you clients, are saying.
Or I would advise this particular person that see what's actually trending in the market, what people are actually liking. Obviously, that's another topic on its own. Going into a business, I personally believe should have their own style of work, which makes them unique.
Yeah.
Don't copy people. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is just to help that if you feel that your product is being devalued, then see what the consumer likes. You know what I mean? Because this is something I've experienced. I tested it out. I have my own style, but what I tested out was song choices, for example.
Yeah.
Some songs I'd prefer to use myself in particular videos to go with the theme, because this vision I'd have in my head when making the video, I'd want to obviously show on screen, obviously on screen as in phone screens, or even YouTube. Obviously my videos go on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
Mainly your platform is Instagram.
not a
isn't
lot
it?
of people, not a lot of the audience understood it. So then what I had to do was then go with songs that were relevant at the time, what people
Oh, right.
trended with. Do you get what I mean? So obviously it might not have been a preference to me to use them particular songs or that style,
Yeah.
but to go with the market.
You know what it is? It's just a simple case of it's a bit of give and take, a bit of compromise, and a bit of understanding
Yeah.
that the clients need to understand they've chosen.
This is
they've-
something I only tested out, by the way. I
yeah,
don't do this all the
clients,
time.
The clients need to realize they've chosen you. They've chosen you for a specific reason,
Yeah.
right? Maybe 10 specific reasons, and maybe they just don't agree with one of them. Yeah. So
Yeah.
nine things are like, yeah, I like that you do 9 out of 10 of those things really good, but that one thing in this case, for example,
Actually,
your music,
that's interesting.
your
one.
music, they might not agree on. So they'll just say, oh look, we're the client. I know this is how you choose your music, but maybe could you try some that we
Okay,
like?
tell me your thoughts on this
So-
then. Would you want to?
And as a designer, I know how that is like a main thing what designers have, and animators with the clients.
Yeah. Well, tell me your thoughts on this. From a videographer's perspective, do you think it's better for a person to adapt to what the consumer wants, i.e. what people these days want to listen to and the sort of style people want, or should they just do their own thing and just, if they get work, they get work? Or the first thing I said, what do you think's better?
So you're saying adapt to what the
Obviously, at the end of the day, why does a person have a business? What is the whole purpose of business?
make money.
To make money.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's a level of that, but there's also a level of if you got passion for it.
I personally think,
Because
yeah,
some people come out of doing full-time work and stuff just to start their own business because
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and stuff. So,
but do you understand my question?
yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, no, actually, I don't. I don't know why I said yeah. Then.
Yeah, thanks for paying attention, Junaid.
No, but repeat again because it was a bit of a long
A
question.
videographer, yeah. Is it better for him to go with what the market want,
Yeah.
what customers want, as in a particular style, yeah, using
Yeah.
a bit of upbeat songs and whatever, just giving an example, or stick with his own style and do what his own preference is and just whack that on his onto his page or website or whatever, and
Right, I've got a
hoping
good-
that
I've
maybe
got a simple answer.
a hit and a miss, somebody might like his style, 1 out of 10 people might like it and they go with it, or go for the whole thing of 5 out of 10 people might like that style because it's more popular.
Right.
Which one of them two should a person do?
Right, this is a simple answer. It's just a case of that if the client's paying you. You're
Does it
not
matter
paying-
being unique, or is it about making the money? It's about making the money at the end of the day, isn't it? But at the
no,
same time, if you're good, you'd hit that market anyway.
All right,
anytime.
I've got a quick and short answer. There's not one definite answer,
Yeah.
right? It's like I said before, it's a case by case.
It's preference,
thing.
isn't it?
It's a case by case thing, and the same thing. What's the easiest and quickest way to put this? Right, there's a YouTuber I watch. Right, he's a YouTuber. Jack. It's called Jack Mate. He's got his own podcast as well.
Oh, okay. I'm not giving plugs, by the way.
But it's not a plug. I'm just saying
I
that
don't
I
want
listened to
plugs.
this on his podcast. Right,
Okay.
he said that as a YouTuber, there's that thing where obviously people come to you for a certain thing, right? The people watch.
We've gone really long, by the way. 5 more minutes, I think.
Right, cool. I'll quickly show you that. So people, clients or viewers go to his YouTube channel and subscribe for him for a certain reason.
Yeah.
Whether that's his acting, the way he acts on his YouTube channels, his content, whatever.
Mm.
But he said that he's gone to a point where with that certain thing that people watch him for, he doesn't like doing. So
Exactly.
in 2 out of 3, so he said something like in 2 out of 3 videos he might make 2 out of 3 videos that are based just to get the viewers to watch it, so he can get the view count up.
Yeah.
Right, and then that 1 out of 3 videos, he'll make for himself. That's his sort of passion thing, to keep his passion for it alive.
Yeah.
Right. So in a similar way, that client
Also, he's keeping a balance.
He does what he do what the client does, because the client's paying you the money. So if the client says, "I'm paying you the money, I want this," you do that for the client, whether it may or may not necessarily be the thing or that piece of music that you want to put in, right? Do that for the client, and then outside of that, just make something for yourself that you think looks sick.
There you go.
And put
There's
your
the
own
difference.
music
No,
in.
there's the difference. So
Put your own
basically,
music, and I put that up, and you know that you're happy with that, and people can see that piece of work that you've done.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like no, that's from a
to make it simple,
yeah.
at the end of the day, if you're doing a business, you're providing for the consumer, a
Yeah.
customer. So you are gonna give them what they want.
Yeah,
But the other thing is, what you want to do in your way is
yeah,
a hobby.
yeah.
There's a fine line between the two. Basically, to sum it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like that.
But
It's-
going back to that first question, the question I want to finish off with, I think we should finish off with, is to answer that person's question is, I think reevaluate your business, reevaluate your product,
yeah,
reevaluate what you're doing, see where you're going wrong, and see what the actual market or the consumer is wanting. Then you can, if you are giving the people what they want and it's at a good standard and it's high quality and you're smashing it, then people will pay you. But yeah, before we finish off, I think we should
I
finish
think
off.
we've answered the questions that.
Do you think
got
we've
given.
answered it?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah.
answered the best I could.
Yeah, and if the guy's got a problem, you can do one, mate. I'm joking.
No, you know, it's not like
that. Message. You can message again and find.
I hope
if
I've
you
answered it the
understood,
best I can. I'm not, and by the way, I'm not being big-headed or anything like that. I didn't come across big-headed or anything like that, did I?
You got a big head, but yeah.
I'm not got
No,
big head,
no.
man. I try. Look, I'm not big-headed or anything like that. I
No,
got a
joking,
question, I
joking.
answered the best I could. But yeah, but I think we'll end it with that. And again, anybody wants to be on the podcast, drop us a message, man, or comment in the comment section. And if you're an interesting person, jump on the podcast. I want to get people on there. I feel
Yeah.
like people are shy to jump on the podcast.
Yeah.
We need to get people on the
Probably
podcast.
a Zoom call or
No. We need to
even
get
socially
people here
distancing.
physically.
but socially distancing under the legal times.
Yeah, it'll be all that. But yeah, I hope you guys like this podcast.
Yeah.
If you want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I feel
Yeah.
like, back in the days when I used to have that
What?
YouTube channel, I used to do all
Like,
this.
comment, and subscribe.
That's it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on this video. Subscribe this video. Oh my
Subscribe
god.
it. Subscribe it. No, they'll have to subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
To the channel to watch
Subscribe to the channel,
podcast.
like this video, share it with your whole khandan, like I said last time, if you enjoyed it. But yeah, we'll see you guys. This is me and Junaid signing out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.